While game week 7 of the Premier League season may have ended, it has given us Arsenal fans two big reasons to go absolutely buzzing into that international break. Goals by Gabriel Martinelli against Southampton and Danny Welbeck against Spurs are the two big reasons that I'm talking about here. Arsenal made a comeback win against Southampton after going 1-0 down in the second half to score 3 goals against them, while Brighton made an even better comeback against Tottenham, where they were 2 goals down in the first half and scored 3 in the second, with Danny Welbeck's winner to get all 3 points from the game. What an absolute weekend of football to enjoy for all Arsenal fans. This is the ArseneeelTV fan channel and I welcome all of you to this community. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you like my content, and it gives me a tremendous amount of motivation when you engage with me to spur up more Arsenal content for you. Coming to the game breakdown for Arsenal versus Southampton, it was basically a game of 2 halves. The first half was dead. We had a lot of possession, we controlled the game, but nothing much in the attacking sense to show for it. Southampton did a good job in cramping their box, maintaining a low block, and didn't allow Arsenal players a free hand at anything. The second half was more lively. Southampton, of course, opened the scoring, and it was one of them games, fam, where you actually need some kind of a kick in the butt or an impetus to start scoring. And that is what happened. Once Southampton scored, you could see how lively and how hungry the Arsenal players got, and that could very well be seen with the opener goal by Kai Havertz. Mikel Arteta's inspired substitutions came on and really changed the game. There was a different tempo, there was a different tone to the game that Arsenal was playing. It didn't feel like it was the same team which was playing after the substitutions were made, but the substitutions really changed the game for us. Martinelli scored the winning goal and Saka put the cherry on top in the 87th minute with the third goal for Arsenal. But the key goal here was that of Kai Havertz, because that's where we were struggling from. We were not able to break through the Southampton lines and able to convert our chances into goals, which was done by Kai Havertz with that first goal. And speaking about Havertz, that gets us to the first big talking point heading into this international break. He scored 7 goals in 7 home games now, and he just needs 1 more home goal to break Thierry Henry's record. His performance in Arsenal versus Chelsea colours against the Premier League opponents has been quite evident. He has played 91 games in total for Chelsea and has a goal contribution of 26. While for Arsenal, he's already piled on 25 goal contributions in half the number of games as compared to Chelsea. When you also compare his non-penalty goals and assists in 24, he ranks at the top with Erling Haaland, 19 non-penalty goals in 24. What an absolute turnaround to his career Kai Havertz has had at Arsenal. And you can see in his body language, fam, Mikel Arteta in his post-match conference did say that Kai Havertz is one player who needs a lot of love. He needs to feel protected and bonded with the team, which is actually the environment that Arteta has provided to Havertz in this Arsenal team, which I think was missing in his days at Chelsea. You can clearly see how hungry he was to score a goal after Southampton had scored the first opening goal of the game. And I want to convey this one message to all Chelsea and rival fans who still feel that Havertz is not up to Premier League standards or quality and still criticize him, hate on him a lot, to hold that victory, hold that amazing goal that Havertz scored and the performances that he has been giving for Arsenal. It doesn't matter. You may launch your hatred in all possible directions for him, but we Arsenal fans know the quality and the importance of Kai Havertz in the centre for Arsenal. Talking of another Arsenal player who receives a lot of hatred that I see on social media and is also the second biggest talking point of the game before heading into that international break, the pure class of Bukayo Saka. 2 assists and a goal in the game against Southampton, and now Saka has provided a goal or assist in every game of the season. The lowest rating that he has received is that of 7 in the Man City game, and in the last 7 games, like you see, blood, he is just been so consistently performing well in Arsenal colours. I don't care whether you say Yamal is better than Saka or whether Palmer is twice the player as Saka, or Foden clears him, or Mudryk is faster. I absolutely don't give 2 fucks about your opinion and your comparisons of Saka to other players in different teams. What he brings to the table for us, what value he adds to this team, can only be understood by those who who are wearing Arsenal colours and who is loyal to this particular badge. Every time I post a game review, fam, there is something or the other that I have to say about Saka, and I always fall short for words. And I always keep thinking to myself that, okay, one day I will get sick of appreciating this boy genius that we have in our team. But apparently that does not happen, because every time he gives me so much reason to give him so many shout outs in my videos, and I absolutely love this hail end product who plays for us. First name every time I make my pre-match predictions, he's the first name to go on the team sheet. And like I said, I'm just sick of these comparisons of Saka to other players around the world, and I would just hope that this comes to an end and football fans, return back to sanity. Coming to the third big talking point heading into that international break is a bit of a concern, especially with the performances of Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling in that particular game. Now, particularly talking about Sterling, I don't think he was bad at all. I think he made some good interceptions and he ran through the Southampton defense, made some good tackles. Wasn't able to get the end product, but he's still integrating into this team setup. He has played with so many Premier League teams that he has that level of adaptability, but I would still give him some kind of time to gel in well with the system and Arteta's tactics before I actually start to judge him. But having said that, Gabriel Jesus has been with us for over 2 seasons now, and it's been a tough year for Gabriel Jesus. We all understand that. In fact, his time in Arsenal colour has been quite tough because of the injuries that he has had. So he's not got consistent game time to perform at the level that is expected of him. And I again see a lot of hatred for Jesus, asking him to leave to Saudi clubs, asking Arsenal to sell Jesus in the winter transfer market. But I would still want to hold on to that. I would want to give Jesus till the end of the season, and right now stop playing him in Premier League or Champions League games. Maybe get him off the bench once we are leading in games and we are in a comfortable positions. Make him play more in the domestic competitions like the EFL Cup, FA Cup, to get his confidence back to the original levels to when he had joined. But it's a strict no-go for me for starting Jesus in Premier League or Champions League games going forward, because to be very honest, he's not been performing well for Arsenal for some time now. And lastly, we have to talk about this. It's the international break and the look forward after players return from international break. To be very honest with you know what, I am going to be sitting every day for 10 to 15 minutes and just praying to whatever God may exist in the world to just keep these Arsenal players fit and injury free during the international break. It is just such a cursed time for Arsenal players that every time we head into the international break, we're more concerned whether or not we're going to see the same 11 players on the pitch. And that is something that happened with Odegaard's injury in the last international break. Odegaard's return is still unknown, but we'll soon get a news. He is still out for a couple of weeks, but I'm all excited to see him reunite with this team. And once he returns, that midfield will really shape up, and that is when we will realize our full potential of this entire squad that Mikel Arteta has built. Now, I wanted to have a very quick look at the games that Arsenal have coming. I want to focus at the next 5 games after the international break. And if you look at the lineup of the games, we have to play 5 games in a span of 14 to 15 days. That is absolutely ridiculous. There is so much football that these players are playing, and I really don't understand why these international breaks need to happen so often. We are not through even 8 games in the Premier League season and there are already 2 international breaks. So I don't know the rationale behind these. If you do understand, do let me know in the comments. The next 5 games, if you see, we have away to Bournemouth, then we have the UEFA Champions League draw with Shakhtar Donetsk, and then the very important game wherein Arsenal will be tested again. It's Arsenal versus Liverpool at the Emirates. We then move to the EFL Cup against Preston away, and another important Premier League fixture on 2nd of November, which will be Newcastle versus Arsenal. I'm not expecting Odegaard to return, at least for these 5 games. He has sustained a major injury, though there are no long-term concerns for it, but it seems that he will still be out for at least 3 to 4 weeks now. So how do Arsenal manage this cramped run of fixtures that we have upcoming for us? We can maybe plan to hugely rotate in the Preston game after Liverpool to be very fresh for the Newcastle game. I don't clearly get how we are going to deal with Shakhtar Donetsk. Maybe we rotate a few players here and there, but that will be another important game for us to win in the Champions League. So the look forward is that we have a tough run of games coming up. The next 5 games are going to be huge for Arsenal after the international break, and that is when the point table of the Premier League will also start to shape up. 10 games in the tournament, you will know about a fourth of the season is over and where are the team placed now and who are the real title contenders or the top 4 contenders going to be. So that's where we will be looking forward to. That's the short-term goal that we should aim for. Still no losses in this entire tournament. We are already well into October, and it is clearly evident that Arteta has built this team to be very resilient, and the way we have made comebacks, our approach to games has been very positive, and I can't help but feel proud for this team. The only thing that bothers me is my weekend plans for the next weekend, because I don't know what I would do if Arsenal is not playing. Maybe I'll resort to watching some fan zone videos, some football highlights. That is what I do in my spare time when there's no football happening. But I will make sure that I keep coming up with amazing content for all of you. This is a plea to all of you. If you do like my content, please subscribe to the channel and give a like to this video. It tremendously motivates me to spur up new content for you. And having said that, watch me go. Arsenal out.